All of these resources that I'm going to be mentioning in this video are 100% completely free. Hello human beings, it's Cecily. Welcome back to my channel, and if you guys are new here, I run my channel called Cecily's Perspective, which allows me to give you guys my top tips and tricks on living abroad as an expat. Right now I'm currently living in Paris, France, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my top resources on how I learn the French language. My backdrop is a little bit different today, and I decided I wanted to change things up a little bit. I put some of my headscarves actually up behind me, and I love how it looks. I'm really excited to share my resources with you guys because they're not necessarily things that your French teacher will hand over to you or things that are easily found on the internet. Some of them I have only recently discovered, and some of them have been with me since day one. Alright, so the first few resources that I'm going to be mentioning are going to be on Instagram. This first resource is actually a French meme page. This Instagram account is called Huguenot999. I will put it right here, and of course I will be linking all the resources down below in the description box. This page is hilarious. Everybody that I know that lives in France or Paris literally follows this page. It's obviously more popular amongst the younger crowd. They're not all in French, they're like half French, half English. Scrolling through the meme page right now when you're trying to be cute et sexy en même temps. I think it's really helpful because, like I said, it mixes humor with learning. When you're learning a language, it's really rewarding to be able to like actually look at something that is from that country and be like, whoa, I actually know what they're referring to. I understand what it's saying. I'm going to share with you guys a few more memes that I think are funny. This one says, me not knowing how to vacances anymore. This one's so funny. C'est temps, me at 6 a.m. les dimanches on my way to ask if I can watch les dessins animés. If you enjoy memes and you're learning French, go follow them. Another Instagram page that I really recommend following, this one is more if you're into art or feminism or both. Her name is Margot Brugevin, and she is basically kind of, I would call her an art reporter. She posts on Sunday, every Sunday, and she talks about different female artists and how their lives inspired their work. I think it's so important to find resources that interest you, because if I'm going to be reading about trucks and how politics have changed since 1922 up until now in France, I'm not going to be interested. It just won't soak up as much as I would if I were to be reading something that actually intrigued me and actually interested me. She is incredible. Shout out to her. Thank you so much for putting this resource out there, Margot. I'm going to be moving on to French podcasts. Podcasts, I would say, are a great resource. When you are on a walk or just doing something that doesn't take up all your attention, listening to a French podcast is going to allow you to listen to the language passively, therefore you pick up the pronunciation. All these podcasts that I'm going to be mentioning are all available on Spotify. The very first podcast that I was introduced to when I was learning the French language is called Coffee Break French. The man who does this podcast, I think he's not even French, he's Irish. But it's really cool to learn about another foreigner who decided to take the challenge upon themselves and learn the French language. I kind of interpreted this in a way of saying like, oh, if he can do it, so can I. He has another person on the podcast with him who is also learning French from the very beginning, so she's also learning at the same time as you're going to be learning, which is really cool. You guys can kind of progress together. The second podcast is called Français avec Pierre. The one thing I really like about this podcast is the fact that he really hones in on specific subjects that give me difficulty in the French language. So differences in between very similar words. When would you use this word rather than this word? Last podcast that I'm going to be mentioning is called News in Slow French. If you want to get an update on the news and you want to hear about current events in the world also while learning French at the same time, this is an amazing resource. It won't be like super speedy how news usually is on the TV, where they are literally speaking 20 words per second. So definitely go check them out if you want your daily dose of current events and world news, and you want to practice your French at the same time. Moving on, we are on the last resource section of the video. This section is going to be on the topic of music. I actually wanted to mention that on my Spotify account, which is this cecily.castro99, I have a playlist called How I Learned French, and I have all of the French songs that helped me at the beginning of my language learning experience. I really love to look at music as a way of practice, even if it's not something that you have to like dread. This is still a form of practice, but in a way that is fun. So if you want to just dance around in your room, why not put on some French music? I would say my favorite French artists are these three. I would say Angèle, Romeo Elvis. They're brother and sister, by the way. They're both super talented. And I would say Therapy Taxi. Therapy Taxi is just a whole mood. So if you want to go check those people out, their music is mwah. Alright guys, those are all the resources that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. I will definitely do more videos like this if you guys enjoyed them, but you have to let me know by leaving me a thumbs up or some kind of comment down below. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm so excited that I get to put these resources out there. I know that they're not that easy to find online. If you have any questions, of course, leave them down below or reach out to me on Instagram. I love receiving your guys' DMs on Instagram. Of course, do not forget to subscribe. The button is right there. Come on, it's not too far. I will see you guys in next week's video. Bye guys. Mwah.